Direct. We got another episode of the Bengi C podcast brought to you by Optimal Agreements and be presented by brought to you by Interactive Entertainment LLC. I apologize. It's presented by Optimal Agreements, powered and directed by Oklahoma Meister. You know what I mean? Talk to Mr. James Service about that. You know what I mean? So let's get straight to it. I got a good episode for you guys. Let's start with Geechee Gotti. And actually, Mr. James is in this topic. And so, Geechee Gotti, I don't know if everybody's aware of who that is. That's a battle rapper, and he recently got in trouble for a number of different things. And so it made me kind of think back on a number of different podcasts and their outlets that published different think pieces, and different articles and different clips and thoughts about this topic. And they're talking about how when it's time in between the time, that's the time that matters the most. And they were like, let me say it like this: when there's downtime, when there's idle time, is when you need to be your most productive, or you're just recovering. You see what I'm saying? Instead of trying to squander and then recover in the same step. So that's exactly what people are assuming happened, because there was a number of reported robberies of pharmacies. And so that's a multitasking activity, because you're not just going to go rob the bank and have the money liquid. You're going to go have the product, and then you have to go risk again to again go get the money in the market. And so that is why people are assuming that it was one of those calculated risks that they had been familiar with, and it went to kind of bite them in the butt a little bit. And so that's what people are assuming. Obviously, it's innocent until proven guilty, but that's like the main narrative being spun around the Geechee Gotti situation. And so, and I was just thinking, paralleling it to my situation, how after I went back to Indianapolis and started over again, everything after the Chicago experience, which was a heck of an experience. But starting over and getting a new kind of grasp on the landscape, and seeing how I could be beneficial to everybody with a different role. Things kind of developed in a way that uh, I'm appreciative, and some of it, most of it, is to me and God, but a lot also is to Mr. James and his ecosystem that he has, as well as Asher and a number of other good women here and there that came across my path. And so, yeah, I go do construction work and a number of just odd jobs, trying to help out, lend a hand here and there, trying to learn stuff, and then one day run a development industrial business, industrial scale business, and then go from there. And so I'm just glad that I did that instead of the Geechee Gotti approach. No disrespect, but it's just, what I mean, you just figure out what interests you, and then you just start at ground zero. You just be entry level, and then you just gotta tread your own, path, and you gotta make sure that you do your own thing. And so, yeah, I have a number of different passions that I found a way to monetize and develop, cultivate a lifestyle around. But I'm entry level at this. You see what I'm saying? So I don't even know what some of this stuff is called. So I'm just listening and just doing, like, giving a hand here and there, pause. And so, yeah, that is definitely that's dope to me, about like on some reflection type of thing. Just it's been what, 4 years now of just trying to reshape different things. You know what I mean? Not driving, not, what I mean, just doing a number of different things and just figuring out how to do what's best for me now, later, and just kind of make up for what happened before. You know what I mean? And so this music, podcast, entertainment stuff is the first and foremost, and then the development stuff. I want to use that to do my active income. You know what I mean? So when I'm not trying to produce content and entertain. So yes. And then we're gonna go, unfortunately, to a David and the girl in his Tesla update. And so I thought this was on the East Coast. This is apparently in LA and or California somewhere. And rest in peace to the girl. Their name, I'm not gonna give her name out, but yeah, rest in peace. And it looks wild. Like, I don't, again, innocent of proven guilty, but this looks wild. Like, looks wild. Like it literally looks wild. Look, give a second, look it up. David Tesla. All right. Now save that to a different tab and read that later. Y'all. This is my little synopsis. I'll make it quick. Um, a singer who like he not really a singer. He's like a crooner, auto tune, sad emo. Let's all cry about it. Let's all die together kind of weirdo. And apparently that's I mean baddies like that. No, I'm not trying to hate on nothing, but like eventually they want the drugs, they want the liquor, they want the night out, they want the fast life that they see on Instagram, and that comes with that. That comes with that. And then you get I feel like a situation with Future and stuff. He's like, "Oh, I won't even do that." It's like, which I mean, I know why he said that in a sense, in my opinion. But if it's true, then it's kind of like maybe Cat Williams. Back to my next topic, or jumping up to my next topic. Cat Williams, like, I just like it because she might want to be comfortable messing around with me. You know what I mean? So like, he's like, I don't drink Alizé, but bitches do. I was here laughing. So I mean, I don't know, but yeah, just look it up and really pray for the family. And obviously, like I said, innocent until proven guilty. But man, it looks wild. It's some spooky business. Like bottom line, it's spooky business. And it's really, it's just like it's like some power tripping weirdo. Like, because he was talking about how he just, don't know, man, it's just look it up. Like, just look it up. But Cat Williams' predictions back to what I just said a little second ago. 2 years ago, last year, he predicted a lot of this was gonna happen, and I feel like he kind of enforced and momentum so it would happen. And I'm not necessarily mad that it's happening. It's gonna happen with or without my approval. So that's the way I'm looking at it. First of all, and secondly, it's just kind of wild how the things that were so shunned and taboo are now aspects of reality. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna just again back to that. I'm gonna avoid key phrases that might get me in trouble. But that's it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm on that platform. There's rules and guidelines in the community, so you abide by the rules and guidelines. And so, all right, Russell's antics. Man, apparently he was performing in parking lots at the Super Bowl and whatnot. And so you guys got to first of all, upcoming rappers and singers, you got to stop getting hype over these bookings that you're paying for to go perform and sell tickets in random venues. Just because you can then put it on the internet, do some research on that, and then figure out, weigh it out. But he's performing in parking lots um, on some too hot shit, and I don't know. It's just he was the one that was champion being independent, had the hack on the albums, had the celebrity endorsements, 11,000 per album, and Kyrie Irving, what I mean, stuff like that. Like people paying like Nipsey Hussle prices. Recipes Nipsey, go check out that Outlive featuring me and Nipsey. So go ahead and check that out. But yeah, they're doing that, supporting independence. And then next thing you know, he signs with Rock Nation. Shout out Rock Nation. Got a touring agreement with them too. Shout out to y'all. But he went and signed one of them. And then now that it looks different. Like as Joe Budden said on this podcast, he said it just looks different. 'Cause, like if he was out there and fans are crowding him at the on the it's like awesome I'm next type of thing, independent, and then he'd be like, all right, that looked dope. That'd be fly. But then now it's kind of like let's send him out here to make sure everybody's kind of entertained on the way to their car. You know what I mean? So like we keep the buzz going to the club type of thing. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. It just looks a way as a sign artist to be performing in parking lots. But if they both circulated what they wanted to accumulate and acquire off of this either experience, content, or what I mean, some sort of money, then that's that's what's up. And I'm gonna fast forward to the next topic, but I'm gonna come back to the other one. I heard someone else on Joe's podcast talking about lacking urban presence at sporting events, like outside of boxing, obviously. But he said there was no like real hip hop present at the All Star game. There was no hip hop present at like Super Bowl weekend, just different things. And he said they used to have that kind of energy in the room. You had to account for that. And they said they just kind of found a way to fizzle that out. And, you know, it is what it is. It could be one of two things. It could be either be a dinosaur or you could adapt and evolve. Because the main person with the NFL is a hip hop figure in terms of the Super Bowl, in terms of our understanding. Obviously, there's somebody above him that gives him the okay. But then again, shout out to Rock Nation. And, you know, I would say just be inside to help change from the inside out. That's the saying, right? And so you can't really do too much yelling at a wall. You know what I mean? But if you walk outside the door, it might have some impact on people inside the house. You know what I mean? Versus you yelling from outside the house. So, all right. But Tamika, drummer, free her. You know what I mean? Free everybody, loved ones locked away. You know what I mean? Tamika drummer, son sentenced to life for less than 2 ounces of weed back in 2008. That's that's shameful. That's fucking terrible. Put that together. She got sentenced to life for less than 2 ounces of weed, which is legal in damn near half of the states now. That's what we talking about. You know what I mean? That's where David and his Tesla are making it very hard for a lot of people. Because there already is people with stigmas and taboo. Think about it. He was the first person to complain about getting dirty looks riding around Cali in his Tesla, like, oh, they think I stole this, or they think I'm the da getting looks, all that. You know what I mean? And then what he do? He went and did some weird shit in the same car he was getting profiled in, and he actually was getting seen. He wasn't getting profiled. He was getting peeped. They were clocking him on everything. So it was like making that shit hard on everything, and also making it hard. Tyra Banks, the documentary they were talking about online and on the podcast, Joe Budden's podcast. Shout out to Ian Schwartzman on everything. Runs a very, very nice operation over at the JBN on everything. But Tyra Banks, doc, they were talking about how she was making it hard for the black women or the women of color just cause kind of thing. And it's like that's kind of lame, it's bogus. And not to be favoritism for anybody, but figure out what would be the most palatable, you know what I mean, presentation because it's a business at the beginning of the day. You know what I mean? Then you might be like happy and friends at the end of the day because the shit worked. You know what I mean? But no, hell no. That sounds kind of bogus because it seemed like she didn't want to be. It was kind of on some "I'm the only black girl in the room" type of vibe. You know what I mean? So then she tried to shame the other ones away and like kind of be catty with them instead of like being over the shoulder with them. And so they're talking about one girl, like black girl, had a big gap in her mouth, and then they try to lightweight strong armor into getting that closed. And then like the next episode, they were casting for somebody with a gap in their mouth, like little shit like that. Like, man, what the fuck, bitch? You just told me to close this shit, and then a week later, now you casting for a motherfucker on the outside when you had a whole big field goal Michael Strahan bitch on the inside the whole time. Like I mean, not to be too rude, but damn, that's what came to my mind. But for real, that's hella bogus to me. And so Tyra Banks, you know what I mean? But apparently she shot back. I mean, I didn't give it too much energy. I didn't read into the shoot back, but or the clap back, but no, it's still it was done is done. And so I mean, yeah, that back and forth, you have 20 years worth of footage, but you can slant. That's just more ammo to try to flip the script and paint the narrative a certain way, kind of frame something a certain way. And you have the producers, you have the clips, the edits, you know what I mean? You can make that however it look, and you got this new shit going on and shit. Yeah, so you can make it look however. But like Tony Yayo said, everybody laughing at it, but it's true. He's like, motherfucker up there pointing at you, that's better than a picture. That's better than anything. You cooked, you fried goose, you done. It's over with. And so, yeah, everything. Put a fork in Tyra Banks. That shit's cooked. That shit's over with. You know what I mean? Well done. Over with. And so, I hope everything that needs that transpires in terms of like getting, you know what I mean, the people that could have been something that never ended up being nothing that end up getting to have a little something towards the end of something. You know what I mean? Because it seemed like she was holding back a lot the whole damn time. So You know what I mean? She type Puff Daddy type shit, talking about some fuck it, nah, Big already gone. I might as well just be on the cover type of shit. Type, you know what I mean? We already sent her home. I might as well just go make up the slack, then be the martyr, You know what I mean? On some shit like that. But man, I don't know. I'm about to. This was. I'm gonna do some more. Apparently, we got a little bit of an update, and I'm gonna catch up on something. But this was a nice little quick little stream, and I got some more topics for later on, and I might have a few special guests on the live. So you know what I mean. Another 24.